This meeting is to review the application for a variance submitted by Stonegate Homes in behalf of Adam Paul. They're seeking a variance which would allow them to build a home at 1249 Hidden View Drive in Providence. And Steve, would you like to run through what your application says?
Yeah, so basically, just with the topography of this lot, there's a significant amount of 30-degree slope, and then a portion of the lot is taken up by a retention pond in the lower portion. The steepness of the slope creates some problems if we're trying to build a traditional home. The type of home that these clients want will be able to rectify most of that 30-degree slope thing. So the issue is really just having permission with the zoning and the clearance to be able to build a home on this lot. The clients have already purchased the lot. They've already, there was some road, there was a road that was supposed to come off of Hidden View Drive and go down the hill, and that was abandoned. And so they were able to obtain a portion of that road. Half of it was given to them, half of it was given to the other lot, which gave them some more room, but didn't solve the area needed to be able to build a home on this lot. Hence the reason we're requesting a variance to be able to put the home in that 30-degree slope.
So looking at the drawings, it looks like you have part of the home is up on top, and then the house steps down with the slope. Is that what?
Yeah. So the home from Hidden View Drive will look like basically a one-story home with a bonus room above the garage. But from the back, then it steps down with a 10-foot basement, and then even a portion of that steps down further with a sports court underneath the garage, which is placed specifically in that deepest portion of the current slope.
So once you start stepping down, you're still able to get to native soil as opposed to that.
Yeah, we've done a geotech report already on there, and he's given us the depths. That side that is the deepest for the garage, we hit native at 15 feet. And so as we go further back, the house may not, but he's given us solutions for if we have to do compacted soil or that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, I got ahead of myself and started asking questions. Brad, do you have, the city's response was that they recommend approving this. Is that correct?
If you're asking me, I believe that is correct. Yes.
Okay. So the city's, what Scarlett put together basically said that the city staff agreed that all of the things that had to be approved or had to be met, the applicant meets. So having said that, does anyone have questions for either Steve or Chad, or apparently Scarlett's on as well?
Could I just?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just quickly, briefly, this is one of the few instances you'll ever hear me say that something meets a variance. The variance standards are really high. As you know, I've got a whole spreadsheet I could go through, but I won't bore you with that. The variance standards are really high, and you could argue that there's a few of these things that they don't meet, but this kind of case is what is, in my opinion, is what the variance is made for, is these types of things. And so I think Scarlett did an excellent job of going through the items and kind of outlining them. And I, as a city attorney, I don't object at all to any of the anything that they've met. So once in a while, I don't have to be the bad guy. And in this case, I'm not going to be Steve won't be mad at me after this.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
I just had a question comment. So is the city basically wanting this to be grandfathered in under the zoning regs of 2005 and 6 when all those other homes were built on that steep slope? And will they have to join both lots together into a single lot?
So I would, the answer to your first question, I would say is no. With the variance, a variance is kind of its little animal that just kind of runs with the land and is its own little thing. So as far as combining the lots, I'm not sure.
Actually,
the
yes,
answer to
Chad,
that.
we are requesting that they put the lots together so we don't have to deal with any problems with setbacks from a property line, because if they, and then having that remainder parcel that you can't use. So we're asking that they just put it together in one parcel.
Okay.
But we're
and, yeah,
asking the appeal authority to make that a condition is what
a
we're
condition
asking.
of the.
Yeah,
I
I
think-
wanted to do that.
Yeah, honestly, that was the original intention. The real estate agent, Robert Brown, was helping us, and I think that with the title company, there was just some confusion. It was never the intention to have two separate parcel numbers, and so that'll be easily rectified. We can get them to record it under one.
Okay. And then
And I guess,
when that happens, that road that's on the plat will disappear.
it's already gone.
Yeah, as far as I understand, it's already been abandoned.
Okay.
The last thing I wanted to make sure of, and this is something I guess we can do, we did it with another piece of property, is make sure that the city is very satisfied with the building conditions because of the steep slope. And if the city has any, can't remember how we phrased it, any questions about construction, then they can place them to you and have them remedied.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want to know about me. I've been building a lot of years in a lot of places and on steep slopes like this in other jurisdictions. We are not at all interested in building a home that's going to have problems. And I am more than happy to work with anybody from the city that wants to come out and check things when we do compaction testing. Certified grades, we work with certified grades all the time if we want that kind of stuff done. We can get civil engineers out there to make sure we're not going to have any issues. I've already let Civil Solutions Group know that we want them to be available to do observances when we dig, and just make sure that they're agreeing that we're on native. And if there's a condition they want us to do, we're happy to do it. I've let the client know that all of this stuff is not inexpensive, that it takes time and money to do this stuff right, and they are in full agreement to make sure that it's done right. They don't want a home that's going to have problems either.
Sliding off the hill.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Ed, did you have any questions?
Are you going to have some structural observation reports for the city inspectors once you're completed with the grading, foundation work, and the rebar?
We can certainly do that. So the county only requires that we provide them compaction tests underneath the footings. And even with that, sometimes they ask for it, sometimes they don't. That's why I'll work with Civil Solutions Group, and we'll make sure that they're comfortable signing off on everything we do as well.
We would like a history of that, just to
Yeah.
just a trail.
Yeah.
Of everything
Sure.
being completed.
Yeah, we can do that. We're doing that we did it on one of the lots there up in Little Baldy, the Roberts home on lot 10, the same thing. Before he hired me as a contractor, he had backfilled it with 20 feet of soil that was uncompacted. And so we had Civil Solutions Group come up and do observances while we dug and modified to make sure that we were sitting where everybody was comfortable, and then got the compaction test stuff. And so we can certainly provide all that on this one as well.
Okay, so there will be a certified registered deputy inspector on site when you're doing all these tasks. You're just going to have Solutions come out and verify everything. Is that correct?
They don't usually stay on site the whole time. They'll come out throughout the day and observe where we are, and then we will let them know if we've hit something where we think that we're not on the native that they've previously told us where it would be. But they won't be there full time, but they certainly will come out and produce letters saying, yes, we've observed that they're following the conditions and the recommendations.
Okay.
Great. Fred.
Okay,
Fred, yes.
Fred, go ahead.
Was that an intentional Fred?
Yes, I just saying asking if you have questions.
No, I think it's very clear. I think the city has been clear and thorough in their presentation. I don't know the facts. I've not seen the property, but it doesn't seem, there's nothing that flags itself. So that's,
The,
so
this has been,
questions?
this has been a contentious piece of property for a long time, and I'm glad to see it getting fixed.
Yeah, it really was something these customers wanted to be there. And I went and met with them before they purchased it and told them a lot of the things that would need to be done along these same lines and warned them of the costs involved with that. And they were fully committed to making it work. And so this is just one of those steps in that process of solving a problem with that law.
So members of the committee, do you wish to go into an executive session and vote? You want to vote right here and now?
I make a motion that we vote right now.
Okay,
Can I ask a question before we vote, which I'm in favor of you voting? I just have a procedural question
yes.
for Chad. So did this go before another body at the city, or does this come directly to the appeal authority?
I believe it's come straight to the appeal authority.
Okay.
Scarlett might contradict me on that, but I think it comes straight to you guys.
Okay.
It did. Their request for a variance, normally this would have gone through the conditional use process, but the administrative land use authority can't grant a variance, and this wouldn't
Okay.
work. So it came straight to the appeal authority for variance.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I've got this straight I'm trying to take some notes for the ruling, and I want to make sure I've got that straight. So that's helpful. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, Craig, we don't want you to blow this.
Hey, I've blown easier ones than this, so.
And so Scarlett, as far as I understand, we still will need to go through the conditional use zoning clearance, right?
Question for Scarlett.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
had somebody else stick their head in my office and ask a question. I apologize. What was
You're
that
fine.
question?
I was just asking, as far as I understand, we still will need to do, now that the variance is approved or when it gets approved, then we would still need to go through the normal zoning clearance and approval process that we normally follow, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Was there a second to Mary's motion?
Aye.
Second from Ed, and the motion, let me see how to state this. The simple way for your motion, Mary, would be that we accept the city's analysis and move that the variance be granted.
I like the way you stated that.
The other thing would be helpful to make part of the motion would be the conditions to enunciate, which I'll put into the findings, the conditions that we're giving to the granting this.
Okay,
And so one condition would be that the engineering reports would be made available to the city and to the city's inspectors. Is that?
Yes,
Way to say
structural
that?
observation reports.
Say that again.
Structural observation reports.
Okay. And who does that? Who does the structural observation reports?
The design professional, the engineer, the structural engineer.
That would be Civil
Civil
Solutions.
Solutions.
Yeah, Civil Solutions Group is who we've engaged so far.
Okay.
and then secondly, that the two properties be joined as one.
Okay. Anything else? Is that it?
Does the structural integrity guy, would that go along with if something comes up, the city can say you have to change this to meet a different spec or something like that? That if the city doesn't approve of something they're doing from a structural standpoint, that the city can ask questions and change things?
Well, the city engineer would, I assume, discuss it with the builder and their engineers.
Okay,
In my experience, even as the builder, I will always push it back to the civil engineer. They're the ones with the engineering degree, and I want them to tell me I did it correctly. So if the city tells them to do something, then the city then takes responsibility. So we always want to push it back to the Civil Solutions Group and make sure they're the ones that are signing off on everything, because then they take the liability.
They're also the ones with the stamp that goes on there that says if
Exactly.
anything goes wrong, it's their fault.
Yes.
Okay,
Anything else?
No,
So the motion is to approve, is to accept the city's analysis, approve the variance with two conditions. One is that, let's see, how did we state that?
structural observation report?
Yeah, structural observation reports be provided
Tasks.
regularly to the city, and that the two lots be joined as one.
yes,
Okay, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Steve, congratulations. That's the easiest one we've ever had.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
You did a
My
good
clients
job.
will be thrilled.
Yeah, I went up and looked at the lot today, and then I had to get out your plan and see how you're stepping down, because
Yeah, I
that's,
saw it today also. It's
so,
a little work there.
all right.
Yeah, it's not one that you want a homeowner builder trying. So we'll do a good job though.
No, you don't.
Hey, Craig?
Yeah.
Do you want to just do a roll call vote just to make sure I'm?
Yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. Let's do a roll call vote just to make sure we've got everybody's vote.
Mary,
Zoom's so hard to
Aye.
do that on.
Mary's an aye. Fred?
Aye.
Aye. Fred's an aye. Ed?
Aye.
And I'm an aye.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Hey, Craig, we'll await your,
Yeah, I've already got it out and I'm working on it. So I'll try to get it out just tonight so we can get this wrapped up quickly. So
okay.
not tonight, I'll get it out before the weekend.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a good day.
You
Okay.
too.
Evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.